In Nigeria, the federal government has launched the 2024 Hazard Risk Countrywide analysis, which aims at strengthening disaster preparedness and mitigation efforts across Nigeria. Speaking during the launch on Thursday in Abuja, Vice President Kashim Shettima called for enhanced collaboration among stakeholders to address Nigeria's vulnerabilities to disaster and climate change. He reaffirmed the federal government's commitment to safeguarding lives and livelihoods from ecological and other risks. Now, the report, which was developed under the leadership of the National Emergency Management Agency with technical support from UNICEF, offers a detailed analysis of Nigeria's vulnerability to hazards such as floods, drought and public health emergencies. Arise News analyst Dayo Sobowale joins us now to discuss the project. Mr. Sobowale, it's always a pleasure to have you with us.
Glad you have me here too.
Good. So NEMA and UNICEF will be partnering to get detailed analysis of Nigeria's vulnerability to floods, droughts, and of course public health emergencies and others. But what happens, next afterwards? Will there be affirmative action on mitigation? It's one thing to propose all of this. It's always about implementation.
Right. Actually, this is really a catalog of what they call vulnerabilities, natural and man-made. But you see, like the Vice President said, they want to take proactive action. But you see, I want to take issues with them. These things that were cataloged, these vulnerabilities, these disasters, they happen regularly. That's why I've called it a catalog. What we need to do is to take preemptive strikes, preemptive management. Proactive can be there too. But if some things can be averted, why can't we avert them? I'll give you a good example. The Lagido Dam in Cameroon wrought havoc on Nigerians, not deliberately, for almost 4 decades now. You can imagine how many governments have been in power there. You see, the cause of it is very simple. Nigeria was supposed to build a backup dam to take in some water flowing from that Lagido Dam. That Lagido Dam is being used to get hydroelectric power for Garwa. It's a beautiful city in the Cameroon there. You see, to develop agriculture and all that. We are supposed to have our own at our own end there, but it has never been done. It was part of that. You have so many dams that are in the plan, national economic plan, to be built to avoid this sort of, but they have not been done. And nobody has been queried over it. And human lives have been lost. The last time, the president had to go to Maiduguri to give money, and then all of a sudden I have a blueprint, a chronicle of the disasters we have seen in 2024. And it seems we are making merry with that. It's not done.
Exactly,
yes.
Mr. Sobowale, which
it's not done.
It makes me question the sincerity, of the federal government really in protecting the lives and property of citizens. You have just listed, a catalog of events. Even in case of public health emergencies, we've had issues with cholera, with Lassa fever. I mean, these are issues that we have regularly, like you say. So is there really any need to start launching? Why at this point, shouldn't we actually be acting on how to prevent such emergencies, or how to mitigate such emergencies in future? For instance, the rainy season, 2025, we should start preparing for it from now. So really, how sincere really do you think the federal government is in actually mitigating all this risk?
Yeah, sincerity. I won't speak for them, but on the surface of it, it's questionable. It's very, very questionable. You don't catalog your woes and celebrate the listing of your woes, when all you should be doing is trying to make sure you mitigate or divert them or avoid them altogether. You see what happens in the United States? All these hurricanes, tornadoes, they give ladies' names, horrible things. They know the direction in which they are coming from. And they ask people to be moved out of harm's way. I want to put in something here. These disasters ruin people's lives a lot. But then, you have not been able to make allowance or allow some people to have access to this mitigation relief efforts. There are some people, when these tragedies happen, They cannot see where it is coming from.
Yeah.
They cannot hear what is happening. And they cannot move. You get me? In the United States, they make special provisions for such people.
You know, but allow me to interrupt you. Could
Yes,
it be due to lack of ideas, you know, on how to mitigate this risk? Could that be why we're celebrating
It's
the
not
launch?
impossible.
You
See, that is one thing you should know about Nigeria. It's not as if government at times is wicked. There is governmental ignorance or lack of direction of where to go. That's the duty of the media. You get me? To enlighten government. That's why it is the fourth estate of the rep. That's the way I see it anyway. I take it as a public responsibility. Do you get me? You cannot, for the be celebrating disasters that have happened to us at the instigation and at the prodding of UNICEF. And UNICEF has done a lot for us in terms of children out of school. They are people giving us information. And on this particular issue, they are even ready to catalog so that we can look at it and act. But we should be acting proactively, all right. But if possible, if you have avoidable situation, we should act preemptively to avoid situations like that. And we should not be cataloging our woes. We should be looking for new ways to tackle them before next season comes in. Because some of them are seasonal. You know they will come whether you like it or not. Huh? You know the part of the flood. You know the disasters where they come. You know the seasons when they come. You should plan. And as much as possible, try to avert if possible. Mitigate if that is all we can do. But you see, we must plan humanely to save human lives, which is not very much on the ground from the reaction I've seen so far.
Indeed.
Yes.
Preemptiveness and, of course, proactiveness in making sure things are done the right way. Unfortunately, that's as much as we can take. Mr. Dayo Sobowale, Rise News analyst, I'd like to thank you very much for your thoughts on those issues. Always a pleasure to have you with us.